We're back on TV, or as we like to say in the business, if you don't mind the shop talk, television. It is the 28th day of February. It is not the last day of February this year. We get an extra day tomorrow, and of course, it's Wednesday. I wrote that song, by the way, nominated for a Grammy. I didn't write that song. Wenatchee Wild ticket vouchers. Now, I have a bunch of these things, and things happen. Anyway, they only have 4 more home games. They got Regina in town tonight, Moose Jaw on Sunday, and then they just have 2 more home games after that. So we're down to the final 4 home games for the Wenatchee Wild, and I got ticket vouchers coming out of my ears, so let's blow these babies out. Just like we did last week, 2 winners this week, not 1 but 2, and they're each going to get 6 ticket vouchers. I hope there's still seats left when you go to the Wenatchee Wild ticket office and exchange them for actual tickets. You want to go see Wenatchee Wild hockey on us with you and 5 of your friends, or you, 4 of your friends, and 1 of your enemies. I don't care. Do whatever you want to with them. But if you don't sign up, you can't win them, so you might as well sign up. Winner at ncwlife.com, winner at ncwlife.com. You send in an email. That's how you enter, because everybody's got an email address. So winner at ncwlife.com. You can enter more than once if you have more than 1 email address. A lot of people do that. Looking at you, David, and others as well. But if you have more than 1 email address, you can enter more than once. You just can't enter all the time on the same email address. Not only do we keep track of these things, but it's kind of annoying. Employees of Local Telecommunications, solely on broadcasting, and their immediate families are not eligible. Sorry, Casey. And if you don't sign up, you can't win. We'll do the drawing a little bit later on. And again, 2 winners. Each of them will get 6 ticket vouchers to any future regular season Wenatchee Wild home game. And there is only 4 left to go, and then hopefully a deep run into the playoffs. Speaking of the Wenatchee Wild, Austin Drade, the voice of the Wild, will be my guest in the back half of the program as we preview what they have coming up this week. They're taking on more Eastern Conference teams. They have Regina tonight and Moose Jaw on Sunday. Austin will be my guest. It is raining lightly. It is 32 degrees. The system, this well-advertised system, is already starting to come in now. A lot warmer than the last system that came in on Sunday into Monday that brought the temperatures down. This one is considerably warmer. We only hit 42 on Tuesday. We're going to be pushing 50 today, and the mountain passes are going to get hammered, and on top of all of that, by hammered I mean lots of snow, and on top of all that, big time wind out in the Columbia Basin. Significant wind, not too windy here, breezy, but not windy. Other places in our viewing area, very windy. All those details are coming up, plus news, plus sports. Spring training games don't count, so after they got through 9 innings yesterday, everybody went home. We'll talk about the Mariners. We'll preview the Wenatchee Wild as well when we get to sports. What else do we? Oh, Austin Drade, of course, in the back half of the program to talk about Wild hockey. Good show for you today, and let's get going at 3 minutes after the hour with our cameras around the valley. Again, it is just some light drizzle, kind of some spittle of rain, if you will, coming down here, at least outside of our studios from about 10 minutes ago, the last time I had a chance to peek. The big story as far as precipitation are the mountain passes. Heavy snow in the mountains all the way through tomorrow night, especially for Stevens Pass. Snow in the other mountain passes, though not as much. Good morning to the valley from our Wenatchee Heights camera. The Lower Butte camera takes us up to Lake Chelan, and there we go. They're looking over to the north shore of Lake Chelan. Chelan proper, just out of your view on the right, and there we go. Good morning to Lake Chelan. They look about the same weather-wise up there as we have down here. The Omi Garden camera looks pretty good. There you go. Something like that. Sunrise today, 6:44. Sunset tonight, 5:44. 11 hours. 11 hours of daylight. We got to that mark. Actually, it's 11 hours and 16 seconds of daylight, if you want to count them. Want to be that specific. Good morning to the valley from our Omi Garden camera. And you want snow? Well, Leavenworth's got it. There you go. Wasn't that long ago, there was some blank areas. There were some packets of real estate in the Leavenworth area that was devoid of snow. Not anymore. In fact, you can see some snowflakes coming down from our camera that overlooks the Bavarian village of Leavenworth. So yeah, you folks got some snow. They always do. They always get a little bit more in Leavenworth. They don't get as much direct sunlight because of the shadows of the mountains. It's always cooler. and it's higher elevation, so they always get a little bit more snow than everybody else, and it takes a little bit longer for that snow to go away. 2 slides from the National Weather Service. First of all, the wind. Now, most of eastern Washington has a wind advisory. It doesn't affect us. We'll have some breezy conditions in the valley, but elsewhere, as you can see, very, very strong winds today. And if you look within that little circled area there, right along the US 2 corridor, very, very windy there. Gusts up to 65 miles an hour is possible in that area that you see circled there. Everybody's going to have at least breezy conditions, including the valley, but other locations, as you see there, it's going to be downright windy. It's going to develop this morning. It's going to peak tonight and into early Thursday morning, and still a little breezy on Thursday, but it's going to be very windy Wednesday afternoon to this afternoon, tonight, and into the early hours of Thursday, and snow. It's just going to come down like crazy. Right now, it's raining on I-90. That's going to change into snow, but all of the major mountain passes are going to be very difficult to traverse. This is all the way through Thursday, heavy mountain snow. So it's going to be just coming down and coming down and coming down. Stevens Pass getting the brunt of it, but they're all going to get some snow in the Cascades. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Rain today. Moderate rain, light rain, but rain. Nevertheless, snow level is going to be well above the valley floor. We'll top off at about 51. That's almost 10 degrees warmer than we had yesterday. 38 for the overnight low. Rain tonight. Yeah, about a 60% chance of precipitation. Little breezy this afternoon, little breezy tonight. Strongest wind is going to be early Thursday. Thursday will get up to about 48 degrees, so about a 40% chance of rain on Thursday. Snow level tomorrow is at 2,000 feet. Snow level Thursday night, tomorrow night, drops all the way down to 800 feet, but there's no precipitation expected Thursday night. We should be dry with an overnight low of 29. Partly sunny Friday, we'll take that. High of 43 degrees, slightly cooler Saturday with a chance of rain and a high of 42. We wrap up the weekend with another high of 42. Saturday and Sunday look like twins. We'll see a little more sunshine, they tell us, on Sunday. Then we pop back up to above normal on Monday and Tuesday. The weather is just all over the place, from 51 to 42 and back up to the upper 40s to lower 50s. As we say goodbye to February and welcome March come Friday. All right, that's your weather forecast. Grab your coffee, come right back. We'll do the news. You're watching a Winning Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect, no matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
It's the 2024 KPQ Home Expo presented by LocalTel, March 8th through 10th. Bring the family down to the Town Toyota Center and check out North Central Washington's largest free home show. Enter to win a season pass to the Super Oval or even an e-bike from Nelson Motorsports. Make sure to stop by LocalTel's booth for a chance to win amazing prizes. It's more than just a show, it's the KPQ Home Expo.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. LocalTel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
pockets of light rain in the Wenatchee Valley. We're at 32. We'll be a good 20 degrees warmer than that as this warm air moves in. It's going to be rain today and tonight. We dry off a little bit, cool down a little bit as well. Big time wind, especially in the Columbia Basin tonight down into Thursday. 10 minutes after the hour, a former teacher at Brewster Elementary School was sentenced on Monday to 5 years in prison after his arrest in a child sex abuse sting operation. 53-year-old Theodore Edward Dodge received a prison term of 58.5 months in Cowlitz County Superior Court. Last October, Dodge responded to a decoy operation that was managed by the Washington State Patrol. They created a phony online account with false offers to sexually exploit an underage victim. Dodge traveled to Cowlitz County for one such offer. He was arrested there. He pled guilty last month to one count of second-degree attempted child rape. Prior to his arrest, Dodge had been a teacher at Brewster Elementary School since 2016. A recent cyber attack on a medical processing service has impaired local pharmacies' abilities to fill prescriptions. Change Healthcare, they're a service that pharmacies use to process payments and bill prescriptions to insurance companies. In a report to the Securities and Exchange Commission, the company says the attack was identified 1 week ago. 8 local pharmacies in the Wenatchee Valley have been affected, including Safeway, Walgreens, and Fred Meyer. Pharmacies contacted by NCW Life said the hack has made them unable to process payments and insurance claims, and they don't know when exactly, how long the situation is going to last. If you are expecting a prescription, it is advised that you get a hold of your pharmacy first before you show up to get it. Chelan County Sheriff's detectives say they have arrested a Wenatchee man for allegedly responding to a decoy offer of sexual interaction with a minor. Deputies conducted an online sting operation in mid-February that offered sexual services from a fictitious 15-year-old in exchange for money. They say the 30-year-old man responded and chatted with an officer posing as the teenager. When he arrived at an appointment to meet the decoy on Monday, deputies arrested the man. He is yet to be charged, but he is still in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center. Police say they're seeking a charge of commercial sexual abuse of a minor, as well as communicating with a minor for immoral purposes. A former Grant County man is free on his own recognizance after allegedly impersonating a combat veteran for decades and receiving VA benefits that weren't his. Raymond Kenneth Musgrove arraigned on Thursday on 11 federal charges in U.S. Superior Court in Spokane. U.S. Attorney Vanessa Waldriff's office says Musgrove stole a living veteran's identity and used it to collect more than $825,000 in VA compensation since 1997. In fact, the payments continued even after the veteran, who was the victim, passed away in 2018. Musgrove lived in Grant County at the time of the alleged crimes. A grand jury indicted him February 7th. He was arrested a week later in Eugene, Oregon. If convicted, he faces a possible sentence of up to 20 years in prison. Wenatchee Mayor Mike Poyer received a formal written warning from the state's election watchdog for failing to provide sponsor information on a campaign mailer last year. The Washington Public Disclosure Commission did not impose a financial penalty on Poyer, who said the lack of a sponsor ID was inadvertent. Washington law requires disclosing of who pays for most forms of campaign advertising. The PDC did lodge a $300 financial penalty against the man who filed the complaint, James McLaughlin, who was one of Poyer's opponents in the August primary. The PDC says McLaughlin failed to file his required financial reports with the state while he campaigned unsuccessfully to become mayor. McLaughlin was only required to pay $50. The rest of the fine was suspended. Each Eastmont Elementary School will soon have a life skills program. The district has seen a rather large increase in the need for special education services. At Monday night's school board meeting, Director of Special Education Katie Tucker said that from December of 2020 to February of this year, the total number of special education students in the Eastmont School District rose from 739 to 780. Currently, Rock Island is the only elementary school in the district without a life skills program. One at Lee Elementary started this school year. Tucker said a major benefit of the program expansion is that students will be able to attend their neighborhood schools and won't have to be transported to another school in the district. The program will be added at Rock Island Elementary beginning the next school year. And Rivercom has welcomed a special employee, although I don't know if this person's going to be paid. 8-week-old Australian Labradoodle Elliot will serve as the organization's therapy dog. He was donated by Cashmere Breeders Mountain Home Doodles and will begin full-time duty with canine handler and supervisor Darcy Graves once he is fully trained. Therapy dogs are utilized in different agencies to help staff cope with traumatic events that they may be exposed to while they're at work. That's the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. They have their own therapy dog. His name is Rue. He was also donated for Mountain Home Doodles in May of last year. That's what's making news at 16 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. If you are interested in the happenings of the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington, you're invited to watch the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. 5, 6, and 10 on television. If that doesn't work for you, or you don't have, you've unplugged, you can watch it online. It'll be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, right around 5 o'clock, Facebook around 5 o'clock, YouTube around 5 o'clock, on our app around 5 o'clock. And if you don't have our app yet, that's how you do it right there, that QR code. Pick up your phone, get her done. And if you have a news tip for us, get her done. Let us know about it. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Still to come, sports, the obscure holiday. Today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Mike McNalty's got an opinion about affordable housing. Austin Drade will join me for the Wenatchee Wild. And it's Winning Wednesday with Wenatchee Wild tickets up for grabs. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select VX and L Series tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for 72 months. Contact your Kubota dealer for details.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
19 minutes after the hour in sports on Monday, when the Mariners beat the Reds, it only took about 2 hours for that 2-0 victory. Well, yesterday in Scottsdale, the Mariners and the Giants played 3 hours and 14 minutes, and nobody won. But we do have highlights for you. Anyway, Mitch Garver, he's the newcomer who just came on board. He's probably going to be the designated hitter for the Seattle Mariners this year. Do we have that footage? He clouded a 2-run home run in the first inning. That was one of 15 Mariner hits. There's Mitch hitting that 2-run home run in the first. 15 Mariner hits, that's a lot. They have interesting rules in spring training. George Kirby started, pitched pretty good. Then they pulled him in the first inning. His replacement gave up a grand slam home run. And then George Kirby came back into the game because you can do that. In spring training, it's not like the regular season. You can leave the game and then come back because it's spring training. The games don't count. That's Michael Chavis hitting a dinger that gave the Mariners a 7-5 lead. Of course, it wouldn't hold up. Again, the final was the Mariners 10, the Giants 10. But again, the games don't count. So Seattle, by the way, plays Kansas City this afternoon at their spring training complex in Peoria. All right, women's college basketball, the 16th ranked Gonzaga women, they're riding a 22-game winning streak. They've already won the West Coast Conference regular season title. They did that a couple of weeks ago. They wrap up their regular season tonight. It's their last regular season game of the year. They'll take on Portland in Spokane. Tip-off is at 8. You can watch it on ESPNU. I can't. I don't have it. As far as men's college basketball, they don't get going until tomorrow. Washington State, the men climbed 2 spots now. They're number 19 in this week's AP poll with 3 games remaining in the regular season for the Cougars. All of them are at home. And Coach Kyle Smith says his team knows that the goals that they set at the start of the season are within their grasp.
We hit it every day and just say we haven't done anything yet, and until we're until we're eliminated from the Pac-12 tournament, then we might be stressful. I mean, we win it, I know we're in. That's all. That's the only thing we know. If we win the Pac-12 tournament, put ourselves in a position to contend for a regular season Pac-12 title, which is, obviously the Arizona State loss hurts that chase, but that's really impressive, and that would be an unbelievable accomplishment. But even to get there in this place, so we got to, like I said, put our heads down. I don't think anyone everyone's going through it. Everyone that's, it's just, like I said, it's World Cup for Americans in basketball every year. It's that kind of attention, and it's neat to be a part of it. You got to get used to it. Programs got to get used to it. We talked about that when we got here, is playing in the postseason, and extending your season. So that's the thing. There's 19 days left till Selection Sunday, and then you want to play 3 more weeks, whatever tournament you want to keep winning. So you build that out like there's just a lot of work to do. Don't get swept up in the moment.
The Cougars, by the way, have not won the Pac-12 regular season title since 1942. It's been 82 years, but they have a chance to do it this year. They'll host Southern Cal tomorrow night at 7:30 on the Pac-12 network. Number 23, Gonzaga, will be in San Francisco tomorrow night to take on the Dons. The Huskies have a home game against the Bruins tomorrow night, and Eastern can clinch at least a tie for the Big Sky title tomorrow if they beat Montana at home. The Wenatchee Wild continue their series of contests against teams from the Eastern Conference. It's the only time this year they'll take on Regina. The Regina Pats are in town tonight. The voice of the Wild, Austin Andrade, tells me the Pats have a hard time putting the puck in the back of the net.
They've got one very solid scorer at the top of the lineup, Tanner Howe. He's got 72 points coming into the week, and at the same time, they don't have a ton of really high-powered offensive talent behind him, but they've got a good balance to the lineup, so they can move guys around and not lose a whole lot, depending on. Sometimes they move a guy up from the 4th line to the 2nd line. Sometimes they move some guys back. They're able to do that without really losing a whole lot around Tanner there. Special teams, probably middle of the pack. It gets a little tougher to score and be scored upon in the 3rd period, which I think is true of a lot of teams that will play this year. And in terms of volume, they're at close to the bottom of the league, so if we can limit their opportunities to what other teams have been able to, we can lock them down and pick up a couple points.
My complete conversation with Austin, of course, will air in the back half of the program. They drop the puck tonight at 6 o'clock, and those are just some of the games that people are playing on this second to last day of February, although it is the 28th. You can celebrate National Tooth Fairy Day today. There's actually 2 days of the year that's National Tooth Fairy Day. We're not going to do it now. We'll do it a little bit later on in the year. It's National Floral Design Day. It's National Chocolate Souffle Day. But today is National Public Sleeping Day. I think we've all, I don't know anybody, who, at least adults, well, babies too, kids, have nodded off in public. Most people associate National Public Sleeping Day with long airplane flights. When I flew back from Phoenix out of Sky Harbor back to SeaTac a couple weeks ago when I was on vacation, I flew first class. I slept the whole way. It was pretty damn nice, I got to tell you. So people sleep on airplanes for sure. I fell asleep at a Major League Baseball game once, got terribly sunburned down in Oakland, at the old Coliseum down there. I watched a Mariner-Oakland doubleheader. My buddy and I sat on the third base side, about 15 rows up from the third base dugout. That is right where the sun was. We drank a bunch of beer in the first game, fell asleep, and woke up 3 hours later with a sunburn. So people fall asleep in public. Fun facts about sleep. Sleep is just as important as a good diet and healthy exercise to an overall healthy person. You've got to sleep good, too. Divorced and widowed people suffer from insomnia more than married people. People who don't get enough sleep have a tendency to eat more. I didn't know about that. People sleep, according to research, people sleep better when there's no moon than when there's a full moon. When there's a full moon, it kind of screws people's rhythms up a little bit. Of course, human beings are the only mammals that can purposely delay sleep. If you don't want to sleep, you can pop a couple of Red Bulls or some coffee and you stay awake. One of the biggest obstacles in getting a good night's sleep is a fairly new phenomenon, this thing. People go to bed, they bring their phone with them, and they're getting all that light or 24-hour access to the internet or television, that kind of deal. I just read in bed. It gets the job done there. Some studies have shown that dreaming in color was more common before color TV was invented. About 75% of all people say they dream in color. Everybody dreams every night, but you only remember the dreams that you had if you wake up in the dream. You can go all the way through and have a dream and not know you had it if you never woke up. And by the way, being awake for 18 consecutive hours without sleep is the same basically as being drunk. It's the same as having a blood alcohol level of like 0.08, because that's how punky you get if you stay awake too long. And if you feel like sleeping in public today, be my guest. It's your day today. It's 27 minutes after the hour. Today in history, they tried color television in the late 1940s. CBS did. It didn't work. The sets were too expensive, and none of the shows were being broadcast in color, so they tried it again. And on this date, February 28, 1954, 70 years ago today, the first color television sets using the standardized system, the NTSC system that all the broadcasters agreed would be the standard, the first color TVs on the NTSC system were offered for sale to the general public, and there it is. It's the Westinghouse H840 CK15 TV, color TV, and you can go down to Macy's or Bloomingdale's or your local store and buy one. On this date in 1954, it would run you $1,295. $1,295. That's the equivalent of $13,000 today. Would you spend $13,000 on a TV? It was still ahead of its time. This is 1954. Over the next dozen years, almost every network broadcast and all local broadcasts were still done in black and white. They didn't really, it was up to here's color TV, but it's up to the people who supply the content to make it in color. But here we go, color TV. It's here. This is the 41st anniversary of the final episode of MASH. The series finale aired February 28, 1983, entitled Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen. 106 million people watched this show. It still holds the record for the highest viewership of a television show, not a special event like the Super Bowl. It's been surpassed by that, but as just a television show that was regularly broadcast, it has never been surpassed. In fact, from 1983 to the year 2010, the last episode of MASH remained the most watched television broadcast of any kind in American history. It's never been surpassed in ratings or share, but it has been surpassed in the number of viewers. Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen aired 41 years ago today. This is the 33rd anniversary of the ending of the Gulf War. Well, the first Gulf War. Saddam got to hang around. We won't get into that. We're still kind of there. The first Gulf War ends. Kuwait is liberated. You know what happened. We won't go into it. And the Nisqually earthquake. Boy, you remember this? I remember this here in Wenatchee Valley. It was a beautiful February 28th in 2001. It was sunny and pleasant and mild. I was on my lunch break from the radio station. I was home sitting in my backyard reading a book. And they say that animals can sense these things before they actually happened. I'm in the backyard reading my book, and my cockatiel inside my house, I had the windows open because it was just a beautiful day. My cockatiel started making extremely weird noises, stuff I had never heard before. Never heard before. I went in there and I said, Belle, what's going on? And she's freaking out. She's making this, she's chirping in a way that I didn't know what to do. Okay, so I went back out in my backyard and sat back down again, and about 30 seconds later, the quake hit. Shook us right here in the Wenatchee Valley. It really shook Seattle, 6.8, the Nisqually earthquake. 10:54 in the morning, I remember it very well indeed, back in 2001. Let's do some birthdays. For his scientific work, Linus Pauling was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. In 1954, for his peace activism, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1962. He's one of only 4 people to get 2 Nobel Prizes, and he's one of only 2 people to get 2 Nobel Prizes for different studies, different disciplines. Linus Pauling, considered by many to be one of the greatest scientists of all time, born in the state in 1901. Another heavenly birthday, Brian Jones, a member of the 27 Club, the man who founded the Rolling Stones. Bill Wyman said it. He said he picked the group, he got us gigs, he named the band the Rolling Stones, he decided what music we would play, but of course not very long after, as the Stones became bigger and bigger, he was overshadowed by Mick and Keith and really the rest of them. Crippling drug addiction. He was finally fired from the band and died a couple of weeks later. Brian Jones, the man who started the Rolling Stones, born in the state in 1942. And happy 84th birthday to Mario Andretti, the only man in history to win the Indianapolis 500, the Daytona 500, and the Formula One World Championship. Nobody has ever done that. The scion of the Andretti racing family, Mario Andretti, is 84 years old today. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Special thanks to Pool to Spa Services. I know it's still wintertime, but do you want to start thinking about a swimming pool? Or maybe you have one? Or maybe you bought a house that has a pool? Pool to Spa Services will take care of you there. And our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Mike Magnotti's got an opinion coming up. It's Winning Wednesday. Don't forget, get in your emails. I got Wenatchee Wild ticket vouchers to give away. Winner at ncwlife.com. Speaking of the Wenatchee Wild, Austin Andrade will join me in just a few minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why people here drive Honda. Dependable all-wheel drive with traction control, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to fill up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda is known for legendary fuel efficiency? Great deals are here now, and so is Mr. Frost. So see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
Crown Furniture knows the most important part of a healthy and productive lifestyle is good quality sleep. The Englander Mattress Company is dedicated to manufacturing the best mattresses made in the USA. Englander chooses the finest materials made in the USA with a drive, dedication, and attention to detail, earning them a 99% satisfaction rating. Stop by Crown Furniture today on South Wenatchee Avenue and save up to 35% on select Englander mattresses. When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. And I'm going to bet, with housing prices where they are these days, we're going to see a return to, or at least a new phenomenon of multi-extended family or extended generational family living. You know, if the average family income was about $57,000 and the average home price being $450,000, I mean, come on, we can't see how new home ownership for a single family is going to be feasible. Extended family members or multiple families sharing a home and mortgage is probably going to become a new trend. Good thing or bad? Well, who knows? I mean, I wouldn't mind if my daughter's family moved in with us in the same house, but my son? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
Mount Stewart Physical Therapy is all new. New staff, new therapists, and a fabulous new chiropractor. That's right, you do not need to drive to Wenatchee or Kashmir for your care. Come see Dr. Zolman, DC. No referral needed for most insurances. Open your auto and work injury claims with us, or fax your post-op and Medicare therapy prescriptions to us right here in town. We offer covered pelvic floor services. We are premium health care for the Upper Valley. Improve your quality of life today. Mount Stewart Integrative Therapy and Chiropractic.
The new Hummer EV is everything you want in an all-electric vehicle. It's powerful, reliable, comfortable, and will take you anywhere you want to go, on-road or off. Why buy one of those lesser EVs when you can have one that uses them for traction? Order your Hummer pickup or SUV today from Sangster Motors, batteries included.
Welcome back to the program. It's Winning Wednesday. Of course, I got Wenatchee Wild ticket vouchers that could be yours. Send in your email. And it's time to talk Wenatchee Wild hockey. Now, normally when the Wenatchee Wild have a home game, and they have two this week, by the way. They have one tonight. They have one on Sunday, a matinee against Moose Jaw. We usually interview Austin Drade at the Town Toyota Center. His schedule didn't quite work out. Well, I'll let Austin Drade, everybody, give him a big hand. I'll let you explain. I saw you Monday at the Town Toyota Center about 11:30. To do a different interview, and you walked by, and you had just gotten back into town.
We got back in probably 45 minutes before. Got a chance to drop off the equipment and do a quick interview with our academy coaches for the broadcast tonight, and that was about all she wrote for stopping by the arena on Monday.
15-hour bus ride from Edmonton to Wenatchee?
Give or take. There was some snow that we ran into. Edmonton started getting socked with a snowstorm right about the time we started the game on Sunday. So there was plenty of snow on the ground by the time we got out. But once we got to Red Deer, things definitely got a little better. But it was slippery coming out of town.
Yeah, in all your years of broadcasting hockey in the Midwest, is that about one of the longest bus rides you've ever been on, or have you been on even longer than that?
That one's probably the longest one continuously, 15 hours down from Edmonton. That's probably the longest stretch.
You looked it too, by the way. You look like death.
I know I did.
You look like death on a cracker. But enough about that. Let's do a little rewind. Good Alberta trip. Good trip. Calgary, Red Deer, Edmonton, not so much. Let's go ahead and talk about Calgary first. This was last Friday. We're going to roll tape. Austin, I'm going to ask you to use the monitor. You folks at home, please use your televisions.
Wild down 2-0 and a chance in front. Miles Cooper looked like he put it away, but it's Stephen Arp with the last tap on the doorstep. Graham Sward with the initial shot to make it 2-1. And then the Wild with a chance to get this one evened up. Pass to Kalen Jodry. He's lean, mean, and only 16. Throws it to the back of the net. His first Western Hockey League goal right in front of all his fans. He's from Airdrie, right up the road, and that makes it 2-2. Does he look excited? He should be. Wild up 3-2 after this one, and this is the one that counts. Kenta Isogai to the net, takes a bounce, drive home safely. Good night, everybody. 3-2, Wenatchee with the win. Graham Swart, hard to believe, his first game-winning goal of the season, but it comes in a very special place, the Scotiabank Saddledome, home of the Calgary Flames in the 1988 Olympics. Great building to see a game in, call a game in, and score a game winner in if you're Graham Swart.
You mentioned this last week. You went up to, well, explain this little broadcaster tradition of going way up in the catwalk thing at Calgary at the Saddledome.
So there's a catwalk that you don't have to go this way. And actually, I tried to do it a second time while we were up there, and the elevator wouldn't take off from the ground floor, so you had to go back over, and I had to go the safe way up there the second time. But there's a catwalk in the Saddledome. The closest elevator to the locker rooms is on the other side of the broadcasting booth. So you come up the elevator to the top floor, and there's a catwalk to the broadcasting press box that goes over the video board.
Oh, wow.
You look down and you see the top of the video board.
So it's attached to the ceiling?
It's attached to the ceiling.
Okay.
And then the video board is attached to everything underneath that. So I got some footage of it on my cell phone, figured I'd throw it online, and then ended up doing a voiceover on it, so otherwise it's 3 minutes of me breathing hard and reminding myself not to look down. So I'll have to work on that this week, but it's once you do it once, you're sort of okay with it. I think it's probably a whole lot easier to do it without carrying equipment along those. There are a couple of sets of stairs going down to the catwalk when you're already up there, and then back up from the catwalk to the broadcast booth. So it's, I don't know if I would do it again, but it's certainly something you got to do once.
Well, it's a good thing you're in shape. Let's put it that way. So 3-2 in overtime over Calgary on last Friday, and then it was off to Red Deer on Saturday. Another 3-2 victory. Roll tape. Austin, it's all yours, buddy.
Wenatchee did not have a lead in the game against Calgary, but they do have a lead in this one. Shot from the right point from Graham Sward, and it hits off of Kalen Jodry. He's the pinball wizard. He must be a Who fan as it skids into the back of the net, stretching out Chase Witzke. Does not get there in time. It's 1-0 Wenatchee. They're about to make it 2-1, a tying goal in between, but the Wild pick up another one. Chance from the left hash mark, walking to the circle, rattles around. Miles Cooper finds it, dumps it in the back of the net, and that one makes it a 2-1 game. Who wants it? Miles Cooper wants it, finds it, and takes a lead. Turnover just outside the blue line, and here goes Kenta Isogai. Whoop to the left side. Forehand chance, and ripples the back of the net. 3-2 Wild. I'm actually 3-1, but 3-2 was the final score because Red Deer did get one back. Wenatchee down 6-on-4 in the final minutes, but they're able to kill off a penalty and a rush with the empty net, and Wenatchee hangs on for a 3-2 victory on the road. Second win of the weekend by the same score, and knocking off a couple pretty solid teams on the way to those 4 points.
Talk about this 16-year-old kid. What's this all about?
So Kalen Jodry, he was the third-round pick, which was the top pick for Winnipeg during the last draft, and of course he came with the rest of the team in the move from Winnipeg to Wenatchee. Very, very solid player. A lot of times you see young players, especially who haven't gotten a chance to practice with the team. They're just stepping in and getting their feet wet, and they tend to make maybe the smart plays, maybe the safe plays. They'll put a puck in a good spot and a dump in, and they won't do anything real groundbreaking, but they'll make some good decisions for you. And Kalen was making good passes, taking a couple of good breakouts. He had that one goal. He stepped through a couple of defenders and hit the back of the net on a no-doubter for his first one. Got a great angle on that carom for the second goal. So he's a smart player. I think he's asking all the right questions out there and making a lot of really solid plays. He's trying to make a play as opposed to just go for the safe route out there. And to see that from a 15, 16-year-old kid is really, really impressive.
He reminds me of Isogai, too, in that he skates really fast. He can get going. He can go from 0 to 60 real quick.
He skates really quick, and he does it with purpose. He knows where he wants to skate the puck to, and he knows where he wants to take a pass and to get his teammates' attention to get a pass from them. So he does things with a lot of purpose for a 15, 16-year-old player. I think he's a guy we're going to see around for a while.
Yeah, I think so. So 3-2 victory over Calgary on Friday, 3-2 victory over Red Deer on Saturday. They closed out the 3 games in 3 days up in Alberta with Edmonton, who are in last place in the Eastern Conference. Just tired. I mean, we lost 5-2. The guys just spent.
I think some of it was the early start on Sunday. We had the road trip from Red Deer up to Edmonton Saturday night, and just the short turnaround. Edmonton hadn't played on Saturday, and Edmonton's a hot team right now. They're starting to put some things together, even though they're probably going to run out of time for a playoff spot. But the win against us was their 5th in the last 6, so they're starting to put some things together. You know, the timing may not be what they were hoping for it to be, but a young group. A lot of skill on that team, and they've got some good veteran leadership over the top of them too. So I think they're a group that you're going to see come back at the start of next season, but they're probably out of time to make a move.
And this is proof positive that Edmonton's a hockey town. Of course, they have the Oilers, and they play in the same arena as the Oilers. This was a Sunday afternoon game with Edmonton, the Edmonton team in the Western Hockey League. Sunday afternoon game. They had 8,500 people there.
They did.
To watch a last place team. That is impressive.
It's a town that loves its hockey, and it doesn't matter whether it's the NHL or the Western Hockey League. They've had AHL there briefly and supported them really well too. They come out and show up for this group. It was the lower bowl. They had a couple of sections blocked off, I think, for some of the folks performing and groups out there. But the rest of the lower bowl, probably 2/3 full through the game. I don't know if they had 8,400 physically in the building, but they filled up the lower bowl pretty well, and they brought a lot of noise for the game. And it was a game that the Wild were in until the last 2.5 minutes of the game. It was 3-2 until they scored with 2.5 to go. So 6 points. Not out of the reach for these guys until probably the final moments of the game on Sunday.
But it's a success. I mean, we beat Calgary. We beat a very good Red Deer team, who's already all but locked up a playoff spot out of the Eastern Division. It was a good trip.
It was a good trip, a successful trip, and we were able to do it with a couple of veteran players, 3 veteran players, if you include Daniel Hauser, out of the lineup. We had a couple of guys out with upper body injuries. Hopefully we see more of them on the ice this week. But to have 3 of your best, most experienced players out of the lineup and go 2 for 3 against the 2 best teams you're going to see on the weekend, it's a road trip we'll definitely take.
And how is the health of the team as we're down to just the last dozen or so games? How are we health-wise? Outside of the bumps and the bruises.
There were a few guys that are a little banged up, some upper body stuff right now, and probably a little bit of the cold and cough going around that everybody else has. But I think overall there's still plenty of time to get everybody healthy and have everybody on the same plane going into the playoffs.
Regina in town tonight. 6 o'clock is when they drop the puck. Again, this is one of those teams from the other conference, so we only see once a year. Talk about the challenges before we get into the scouting report. It's easy to scout Everett and Spokane and Seattle and Tri-Cities because we play them so much, and you really do want to scout in person because you can see certain nuances that you can't see just by watching a videotape. Talk about the challenges of scouting a team like Regina that we only see once a year. How do you know how to go about putting together a game plan?
Well, the nice thing is, number one, you have video, which does reveal a lot. But the other thing is you have video against common opponents. They've already played through a couple of opponents here in the U.S. division, so you get a chance to see how they play against groups that you're familiar with, and you know what those other groups are going to throw at you because you see them 6-8 times in a season. How do they handle the same things that those groups throw at you? So you're able to find some commonalities, some similarities, and differences, and really go from there.
Regina comes in. They are 10th in the East. It's an 11-team division, so they're near the bottom with 48 points. What do you know about the Pats?
They've got one very solid scorer at the top of the lineup, Tanner Howe. He's got 72 points coming into the week, and at the same time, they don't have a ton of really high-powered offensive talent behind him, but they've got a good balance to the lineup, so they can move guys around and not lose a whole lot, depending on. Sometimes they move a guy up from the fourth line to the second line. Sometimes they move some guys back. They're able to do that without really losing a whole lot around Tanner there. Special teams, probably middle of the pack. It gets a little tougher to score and be scored upon in the third period, which I think is true of a lot of teams that will play this year. And in terms of volume, they're at close to the bottom of the league, so if we can limit their opportunities to what other teams have been able to, we can lock them down and pick up a couple points.
It's a weeknight game, 6 o'clock is when they'll drop the puck tonight. And then Moose Jaw is in town. They are third in the East. They're good. 74 points. The Warriors. Talk about these folks.
Warriors are, they will come as advertised. I think they've got 7 different players on their team that have NHL draft status. One of them is Matt Savoy, who we saw earlier in the season. Jagger Firkus is, they call it the Firkus Circus at the WHL office because he can create a highlight reel for that group with the plays that he makes. So they will come as advertised. They picked up, I think it was a 9-4 and a 12-3 win this past weekend over a couple of U.S. division teams. So if we got to limit their opportunities. If we give them opportunities, they're going to score a lot. So it's a group that we have to play lockdown defense against, stay out of the box, have every man on the ice that we can, and make a run at one of the hottest teams in the league.
Before I forget, what are the promotions? What do you have going tonight with the Pats, and then on Sunday it's a Sunday game with the Warriors, by the way, 4 o'clock matinee. What's going on?
So tonight, nothing at the game, but we've got dinner at Applebee's with the group after the game. So stop out, get your autographs, say hi to the guys, and enjoy a dinner with the team. And then on Sunday, we've got Walt's birthday and Pucks and Paws, so you can still bring your dog out to the game for just $5. All the dog ticket profits benefit Oaken Dogs here in the Wenatchee Valley. We'll celebrate Walt's 16th birthday. I don't know if we've bought him a car yet, but we'll be working on that. I know we've got some vehicles down back, a house he can probably borrow. We've got the Wolf ears to give away to the fans to help them celebrate. So we've got a lot planned. I know we've got some races on the ice for the dogs as well. So we've got a lot going on, and it's always one of my favorite promotions of the year because everybody brings a dog, and I got to stay away because I can't pet every dog. I can't say hi to every dog in the building. There's no time for that.
Stetson's in our building, and Stetson doesn't even like Austin for reasons unknown. I guess we'll let it go at that. Let's talk playoff push. Here we go. Now, Prince George, Everett, Portland. They have separated. We talked about this last week. They have separated themselves from the pack. They're 1, 2, and 3, somewhere in that order. We're 4th right now in our division. In our conference, I should say, in our conference. But we got folks right on our tails. Now, we talked about that last week. We want 4th. That's as good as we're going to get. We're not going to get 3rd, 2nd, or 1st. That's simply reality. But 4th means home ice advantage first round.
Home ice advantage comes with that number 4 spot. Right now, the magic number is 6. So 6 points, which is basically 3 regulation wins or 3 regulation losses for whoever's in 9th place, and right now that's Tri-City. So any combination of that puts Wenatchee in the playoffs for sure. The 4th place spot still very much up for grabs. Victoria is a couple points back and 1 game in hand for us, which is good news, but Vancouver continues to make a run out of that 6th place spot. So nothing's certain as far as home ice goes, but we're getting close to being able to lock in that at least a number 8 spot, if nothing else, with the playoffs, with the magic number down to just 6 points.
And it's got a quick heads up. We're running out of home game. 4 left? Is that it?
4 left.
We got the 2.
Tonight.
We got the 2 this weekend. We got Regina tonight. We got Moose Jaw Sunday. Short little road trip. Then we have back-to-back games on the 15th and the 16th. Home games, and then that's it for home games. So home cooking is going to be vitally important with just 4 home games left of the 12 or so.
Absolutely have to defend home ice advantage and to have a good crowd behind us to do it.
Austin Andrade, so when's the autograph thing at Applebee's? Is that after?
That one is after the game.
After the game tonight. Does anybody ask you for your autograph?
They never do.
Here we go. We'll close out with this. So you want to give me an autograph? It's cool. Go ahead. Sign whatever you want. Again, the Pats from Regina in town tonight, 6 o'clock. Moose Jaw, 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. And then just 2 more home games, and that's it. Dan, never much cared for you. Austin, that's so sweet. Austin Andrade, everybody, give it up. Go Wild, everybody. We'll see. I guess I won't see you next week, right?
No.
Okay. So, you want to write that down too? We'll be right back.
At Boswell's, take 10% off our extensive collection of stressless recliners and sofas, or get $400 off stressless Max and Mike recliners in luxurious Paloma leather, or classic power base recliners in any cover. Plus, get 10% off the new Stressless Sky customizable luxury mattress. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
It's cold outside and time to make sure your loved ones are safe and secure at home during the cold months ahead. Aging and Adult Care has low-cost, in-home care options for seniors, adults with disabilities, and for caregivers assisting relatives or friends. Services like housekeeping, personal care, and home-delivered meals can make such a difference for you or someone you know. These services and more are available by calling Aging and Adult Care's offices at 1-800-572-4459.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
One more friendly reminder on this Winning Wednesday. If you want to win wild ticket vouchers, 2 winners, each of them gets 6 vouchers. It's well over a $100 prize. Get your emails in. winner@ncwlife.com. Winner@ncwlife.com is an email address. How you enter, kind of thing. That's how we do it around here. And you have all day to enter. We won't do the drawing until tomorrow morning. We'll probably do it during this show. One more friendly reminder for some of our folks in our viewing area. Get ready for some big time wind. This is the second system that's already beginning to roll in here. It's a warm system, but boy, look at that circled area within the black dashes. Extremely windy there. Now we're just going to be a little breezy. The wind's kind of going to sort of miss us a little bit, but it's going to just pummel the Columbia Basin pretty good. They have a wind advisory for almost all of eastern Washington, as a matter of fact, with the exception of the Wenatchee Valley. And it's going to be very windy tonight and overnight into Thursday until it tapers off mid-afternoon. tomorrow. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Rain, light rain off and on, hit and miss. Snow level is going to be above us. Mountains are going to get hammered with feet of snow, especially Stevens. No snow here. We'll get up to about 51, 38 for the overnight low tonight with spittling rain off and on. 40% chance of rain on Thursday, slightly cooler, high of 48. A little breezy at times and basically unsettled weather. We cool down, then we warm back up again as we welcome March. And that's it for us. Have a great Wednesday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.